Hello, everybody. This is Andrew from the Legend of Zelda Hub. Once again, I'm coming back to you with an episode of the old Zelda Hub podcast. I wanted to bring back an old tradition on this channel, that one that we did not able to do last year because of, well, things in the world going on, I guess you could say. But this year we're back. E3, more importantly, is back. And with E3 comes a lot of hype, predictions, rumors, and mostly a lot of nonsense. And as usual, for these videos, I like to bring in my good friend Genope. Say hello, buddy.
It's me, Genope. Good to be back.
Good to have you back here on the channel. I think the last time you were here was for the roundtable discussion of Age of Calamity, I believe it was.
I want to say so. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a few months. So today we want to talk about one of our favorite times of year, E3. It's like Christmas for gamers. But more specifically, we're going to talk about the Nintendo portion of E3. That's just under a month away.
Indeed.
Before we get started, do make a quick announcement as far as plans for E3 and the Zelda Hub goes. Over on twitch.tv/nicelink81, which I will have a link to in this video, we are going to be doing our own watch along. I'm going to be live streaming the event. I'll be, live with the, giving live reactions, chatting with people, having a lot of fun. So, the exact date of the Nintendo E3 presentation hasn't been announced yet. I'm sure we'll find that out here in the days and months and days and the weeks to come. So stay tuned to our social media to find out times and dates for this so that you can be a part of the fun. But let's go ahead and jump into this. We've got a lot of rumors floating around, lots of
Oh, yeah.
hype. Yeah, probably the big rumor for Nintendo's E3 this year is what Zelda's doing with their 35th anniversary. We've heard everything from an Ocarina of Time remaster floating around. We've heard that there's going to be a collection. And of course, the biggest rumor of all is that we're going to get release date and more information for Breath of the Wild 2.
That will probably happen. If I had to guess the release date for Breath of the Wild 2. Everything else I'm completely up in the air about. Nintendo being Nintendo. They will set a precedence for one thing and then never follow through on that precedence ever again.
That's an
I
Nintendo.
honestly do not know what Nintendo is planning for any of this.
Oh, yeah, Nintendo is really weird. I mean, just literally hours before recording this, we get release dates for Pokemon games announced here less than a month before E3. So, totally, yeah, right out of left field. The whole Paper Mario, Origami King out of nowhere, and stuff like Age of Calamity was out of nowhere. With
Yep.
little to no rumor on either one. And now here we are. I'm kind of with you with the whole Breath of the Wild 2 thing. I think we'll get an official title. We'll get a proper trailer. I think gameplay will be shown, and release date will be announced. I think that's going to be the centerpiece of this direct. As far as collection and 35th anniversary stuff goes, crap, that's really hard because
Yeah.
they just wrapped up the Mario 35th anniversary like a month and a half ago with Bowser's Fury, and we're
Yeah,
not
they
too far removed from that. So Nintendo obviously isn't working on a calendar January to December type thing with these 35th anniversaries. They're doing it by, from what I can tell, is COVID put them a few months behind on everything. So let's put it
yeah.
out when we can. But I would
for
suspect
sure.
by now they're most likely ready to reveal their Zelda stuff. We've already gotten a little. A few days ago, Age of Calamity DLC details was revealed. They're doing some kind of Smash tournament involving 35th anniversary characters, Zelda, Metroid stuff, and you know anybody else that's having a 35th anniversary that's in Smash is involved in that.
It's
And
nice.
I think that we will get better than what Mario got.
I
Probably
hope
more.
we get better than what Mario got. What Mario got was it was nice, but it was frankly it felt lacking.
It was ports, another port, and a temporary online fun game that nobody can ever play again now. But I
Yep.
think that Nintendo, a lot of that might have been due to what was going on in the world at the time. All of that stuff came out, and they was only able to put out what they, minimally could. But they wanted to put out something, so it was like, well, this is better than nothing. So now that everything seems to be back mostly in full swing, I think we'll get a lot better as far as Zelda goes. I think there will be a collection. I don't think it's going to be anything too extravagant. I think it'll be an updated version of that collector's edition that we got on the GameCube back in the mid 2000s. I think,
Yeah, I can see Nintendo doing that. Maybe like push it through kind of as it was, but like also include like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on there.
well, that's what I was kind of getting to. Ocarina and Majora, obviously, but I won't see Zelda 1 and 2 being involved because those are already on the Switch if you have
They are.
Nintendo Online. And they're not going to put those on a, you know, on a disc or not, well, not a disc, on a cart and be like, okay,
Okay, we
screw
know
our
what you
own.
mean.
But I could see instead of the uh, having the original two, swapping those out for perhaps Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and maybe even letting those be the HD versions from the Wii U era.
It's a
Completely
possibility.
obliterating any need for anybody to ever need a Wii U.
Yes.
Whatever's
Yeah.
left of that console would be gone. But yeah, I think we'll get that. I could see other things being announced, like some 35 type game, and
Yeah, I
probably.
could see that. Um, do you think it'll be limited like Mario's was, or do you think they'll be like, you know what, people didn't like it when Mario was limited. We're gonna make this just available as long as the Switch is still online.
God, I hope it's not temporary. That's always a Debbie Downer. I hate when they.
It
I
is.
hated when they did that with Mario. I hate that I can't play that anymore because I personally loved that. As someone who, as a child, played tons and tons of the original Super Mario Brothers, um, being able to go back and play it again with kind of new eyes and in a different way was so much fun. And now we can't even look at that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was. I hope they learn their lesson from that. Um, but yeah, I could see them doing that. I could see them definitely doing the temporary thing again because it's Nintendo, and a lot of times they really don't care. It
They
seems.
that is true. They just don't.
But yeah,
No.
that's what I could also see a 35th anniversary edition of the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Just like a Switch with Legend of Zelda back on it. Or
Yeah,
even just
maybe they
like
could
new
do something
controllers.
like maybe it comes preloaded with the collection or something.
That would also be pretty good.
Yeah, like maybe or something to that effect. I think they did that. That's how they did Wind Waker HD on when they did the Wii U, the special edition Wii U. I think it came preloaded with Wind Waker.
I think
So
you're right.
yeah, I believe there's a precedence for them doing that. But yeah, I think they'll go all out with the Zelda. I think we'll get multiple announcements as far as Zelda goes. Um, but there's more Zelda stuff I want to talk about. That's going to fall in line with further topics that we come across during this video. Another strong rumor for this year's E3 is Metroid. Multiple Metroid things
Yes.
that we're hearing. The three things actually. One is we'll start off small. Um, this it's all but confirmed at this point. There's been no official announcement made from Nintendo or anyone else involved, but it looks like Zelda is going to be playable in um, what is it,
Mutant
Fortnite?
Samus.
What?
Yeah, Samus in Fortnite.
Yeah.
That we've been seeing that everywhere. Uh, at this point, it would almost feel more like a surprise if she isn't available in Fortnite somehow. Um, I'm not entirely sure why.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit out of left field, but with the amount with everything that with all of the rumors going around it, it feels like it would be less of a shock for her to be in Fortnite than not. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's the like one of the rumors. Another rumor, of course, is the one that we hear all the time, Metroid Prime 4. That
Metroid Prime
is
4.
this gonna finally be the E3 that we hear something, anything pertaining to this game that has changed development hands from what was rumored? What was the original rumored? Was it Acclaim?
I don't remember who it was
It was
originally
it,
rumored to be worked
it
with.
was it was it was
Was it?
Namco.
Oh yeah, it was rumored Namco, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was rumored to be Namco, and then apparently Nintendo saw what they were making and apparently was not very
We don't like
pleased.
this.
Yeah, they were not happy with what they were producing and handed the IP
This isn't
back to
Metroid Other
Retro.
M2. Get it out of here.
Yeah, and apparently they handed the IP back to the previous developer, Retro Studios.
Euro Studios, yes. Which it
So
has been confirmed that Retro was still working on something else. I don't know if they dropped that to work on Metroid, or if they have like a small team still dedicated to this other project that they've been allegedly working on this whole time. I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh, that is,
They've been totally quiet about all of that.
yeah, they've been very quiet. Can't seem to even get like a snippet of information about that.
No. And then the third part of the Metroid rumor is that there's going to be a 2D Metroid, which most likely would be Metroid 5. Be a sequel to Fusion.
Yeah,
So that one seems to be the strongest between that and Metroid Prime being dropped. That one seems to be the stronger rumor. Um, the last time we got a brand new 2D Metroid was well, it was Fusion, and that's been a
yeah, it
long
was Fusion,
time.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that's been a long time. I believe that dropped with Other M. I believe it was like the same time, or was it Metroid Prime 3?
Was that the same time? Oh God.
It might have
Hold
dropped
on, I'm
with
looking
Prime
this up.
3. It was like in the mid 2000s. It's been a long ass time since we've had a proper 2D Metroid. We got the remake of Metroid 2 a couple years ago, and that kind of wet the palate a little as far as a Metroid game goes. But um,
So,
here's what
uh,
I think happens for Metroid for E3. I think we get 2D Metroid announced. They will side mention Prime 3 and hold off for now,
four.
as I still think that that's early in development. Because it was just
Yeah,
like a couple months ago when they announced that they were looking for someone to head that project. And with things that have gone in the world over the last year, I imagine that not much has been done. But I do think they will mention that. I think they'll be like, yes, it's still in development, but here, let's have this 2D Metroid. And I could see them possibly, well, I'll get to that in when we go back and forth with our predictions.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say one rumor, still keeping on the Metroid thing, one rumor that I have not heard as much recently, which I used to hear all the time, is the possibility of the Prime trilogy coming to the Switch.
which probably means it'll get announced.
Yep, that's how Nintendo rumors work. As soon as
Yeah.
you stop rumoring them, that's when they happen.
You joke. But seriously, that company gets mad when stuff gets leaked, and they've held games off because of that. You joke, but that's how that company goes sometimes.
That is true.
That's Metroid. Another big rumor for E3 is, and this one's kind of a surprise, honestly. Donkey Kong is rumored to get some kind of platformer. We don't know whether it's 2D, 3D, or what, but apparently the Super Mario Odyssey team specifically is supposedly working on a Donkey Kong game, which would be kind of big because Nintendo themselves hasn't made a proper Donkey Kong game in a very, very, very long time.
That's true. The last few have been made by Retro, and then the one before that. Oh God, the one before that, before DKCR, was Donkey Kong 64.
That's if you're not counting those GameCube like drum games.
Yeah, I forgot about those.
I don't even remember if those are first or third party or not. It's been like
Go either.
20 years since
I'm
I
thinking
played
like
it.
just about Donkey Kong platformers,
Yeah.
where you play as Donkey Kong. I'm also not including the Mario versus Donkey Kong series because
That's a crossover.
yeah, that's a crossover, and you don't play as Donkey Kong in those games. You play as a mini version of Donkey Kong that's a toy, and it's
You don't
super
play as a
cute.
mini
And why has
version of
Nintendo
Donkey.
not made any of those things into real toys? Sorry, mini rant over.
Yeah, you don't play as a mini Donkey Kong in those games, folks. You play as Mario.
Well, you play as a mini Mario toy in the first few, and then as the games kept going, they started introducing other toy versions of characters to play as, including a toy Donkey Kong.
The best one in that series is Donkey Kong 94. If you haven't played it, highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah.
That's a strong rumor that's going around. I personally would love to see a 3D Donkey Kong platformer.
Yes, I would love to see that as well. As bad as the game is objectively, I freaking loved Donkey Kong 64 back in the day. I would love to see something akin to that come back. Maybe not with 5 characters across 8 worlds. That just made so many collectibles.
See, I'm on the opposite. That's exactly what I want. I want every collectible. I want it to go just all out with the collectibles. Because
You're also the person that bothered to collect all 900 Korok seeds in the first Breath of the Wild, so
3 times.
I don't know why I'm surprised here.
Yeah, I like my collectibles, man. Just give them all to me. Come on, Nintendo. I know you're listening. Give me all of the collectibles for Donkey Kong. But well, let's go ahead and move into our predictions.
Yeah.
I will start. I will go with one, and then we'll go back and forth with each prediction until we're out of predictions. My big prediction, not counting anything Zelda, I guess it would encompass any video game really. But my big prediction is they're going to announce not one, but 2 new aspects to Nintendo Online. My one will be Game Boy / Game Boy Advance games online, and the second one will be Nintendo 64 games.
You think they're going to announce both of them?
Yeah, which lines up with something I said I was going to mention later. That's how we'll get Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, original Metroid 2, and several of the 2D Zelda games as well, like Ocarina, or not Ocarina, but Oracle of Ages and Seasons, Minish Cap, Link's
That would be nice.
original Link's Awakening. I think we'll get both of those. There's been small murmurs of them adding those over the years, but I've never seen anything tangible online, so I'm not really going by anybody else's rumor or anything I've seen on Twitter or anything like that. But I'm going by, like, it's been a while since we've got NES and SNES. I think it's more than time to expand upon that. And I feel like the next step would be Game Boy Advance / Game Boy and Nintendo 64. I'd love GameCube as well, but I'm not gonna push it.
Yeah, we'll save that for the once list.
Yeah, that's a legit. That's not necessarily on my wants list. It is on my. I mean, I do want it, but I do think they're going to announce NES online expansion, Nintendo online expansion, I should say.
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't know if they're gonna be giving us both, but I can definitely see N64 online coming to the Switch. Um, as much as I would love for them to also give us Game Boy / GBA, I don't know that they would do both of them at the same time, which, knowing my luck, that just means that they're going to definitely do both of them at the same time. They're just gonna come out and be like, you know what? Nintendo Online is expanded to be every Nintendo console online. You want to play your Virtual Boy games? Here you go. Want to play your freaking Wii U games? Here you go.
Not to go too far off topic, but I've publicly, in videos on here and in social media rants that I've made over the years, I've said that's the way Nintendo needs to go with their classic games. They have an amazing library. I think all of it should be available. They should, instead of doing this Nintendo Online thing they've been doing, which is not terrible, I think they should just straight up copy PlayStation's model and just have all of, I mean, PlayStation doesn't have every game available, but they have a damn good percentage there.
That is true.
I think that's the model they should go after. Just, you could easily put every NES game on there. You can easily put every SNES, Game Boy Advance, N64, and then you get to the bigger stuff like GameCube, Wii U, and so on. And that's when you want to add a little bit here and a little bit there. Put decent prices. Don't try to, rock our freaking bank accounts, but give us fair prices on the stuff we're doing a subscription thing. So what's your first prediction?
My first prediction, this one's going to be a relatively safe one. However, my first prediction is that we're going to get more information about Splatoon 3.
Oh, yeah.
I am going so far as to predict a holiday 2021 release date for Splatoon 3.
I'm not going holiday because I think that's going to be Breath of the Wild, and I don't think they want those to conflict with each other. But I can see that being springtime release for next year. That's what I think.
See, I specifically don't think Breath of the Wild will be coming out in 2021 because they've already announced the Skyward Sword remake is going to be out this year.
It comes out
and
next month.
Nintendo does seem to have a one Zelda game per year pattern, including spin-offs and remakes.
That's completely false. Completely false. Can be debunked about a million ways. I can just get the year. I mean, we had Age of Calamity come out in October, and that's a less than 365-day release from Skyward Sword, so that I can just debunk that for you.
Still fiscally different years.
That's not how Nintendo looks at business. That's never been how they. We just went. I just mentioned that like 15 minutes ago. Nintendo does not look at a January, December model. They typically look at what they have available. I think that's how they work. I do
That's
think,
fair.
yeah, I do think Breath of the Wild. If Breath of the Wild's not coming out this year, it's not getting announced at E3. We will not hear a thing about it, and that will probably tick a lot of people off. But if it comes out and they say anything about that game, it is definitely coming out this year.
Gotcha.
At the latest, it comes out January of 2022. At the very
That I,
latest. And Nintendo doesn't put out a lot of games in January.
that is true.
No, I think it's definitely coming out. It lines up with how often they put out their Zelda game, their main Zelda games. I'm not talking about side stuff. I don't think Nintendo looks at remakes the same way they look at their general releases. So Skyward Sword is just a remake. It's a port, and I don't
Fair.
feel like that's not them putting out a new Zelda. That doesn't count. But yeah, I definitely see Splatoon. Yeah, there will be Splatoon information. I definitely think so. I
I
see it
can see
being
a
next year.
2021 release window for Splatoon.
I don't know.
I don't think
That
we'll get
just
an
got,
actual
even though it
thing.
just got
Yeah.
announced. You really think it's coming out this year?
Uh, Splatoon. I want to say the last Splatoon didn't have a very long a super long hype window between announcement and release date, did it?
I don't remember because I don't follow Splatoon news very close. I really don't remember that one. It's very possible, but yeah, it could come out this year. Could also, if it comes out this year, I would say more October. They do always seem to have a big title come out in the fall, like around October. I could see that being this year's Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 was first announced in January of 2017 and it came out in July that same year.
So there is precedence, but once again, like you said at the very beginning
Yeah,
of this episode, there's precedence, so it's probably not going to happen.
that's fair.
So my next prediction, some people might not like this, some people might. Is actually it's not going to happen. Is the prediction? And I'm sorry, but we're not going to hear a thing about Bayonetta 3. I don't think that. I don't see that being something they even do at E3. I could see that something they do at a random direct like 3 months down the road. I think there's going to be
Honestly,
so many other big things like Zelda news and Metroid and stuff that's going to be having everyone's attention that I feel like, and Nintendo has done this purposely before, and it's a smart business move. Uh, that they're going to basically be like, okay, we don't want the attention taken away from Bayonetta 3, so let's put this out in a direct in 3 months. There will be no Bayonetta 3 at E3.
I can see that. I could also see them just releasing a trailer. Like, no direct, no announcement, no nothing. Just, here's a trailer for Bayonetta 3. It comes out next month.
Yeah, you mean just like on a random day is what you mean?
Yeah, just like on a random Tuesday or whatever. Just,
Yeah,
here's the trailer.
yeah, and that would be smart. Wait, like maybe like for the E3 hype to kind of die back down and everybody get back into their normal train of thought, and then be like, okay, here coming out, this August, here is Bayonetta 3. That would actually probably be a lot smarter than announcing that at E3 when we pretty much this. I'm not saying this is a confirmation or anything, but we pretty much know we're getting some kind of Zelda announcements at this thing. It has to happen. With there being and Nintendo loves their anniversaries too much for it to not to happen. And I feel like Bayonetta 3 would get lost in the shuffle. Um,
Yeah,
it's a popular game. It's a great series, but it's definitely not Zelda and Mario.
yeah, it's not.
So what else you
So
got for us?
I've got another prediction. Last time I made this prediction, it came true.
Uh
So I am going to predict a sequel to Super Mario Party,
oh. Ooh.
which is a weird prediction to have because Nintendo, like, last month was like, hey, you guys want online in your Mario Party? Here you go. What do you mean nobody's playing this game anymore because it came out like 2 years ago? Here's Mario. Here's online in your Mario Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am predicting a sequel to Super Mario Party. Um, it's gonna have like 6 boards instead of 4. Like 2 additional characters and a complete like overhaul on mini games. It's also gonna have whatchamacallit. It's gonna have online from the start, and it's gonna have a special handheld mode that allows you to use the touchscreen for mini games.
Pause.
Not all mini games, obviously, but there will be touchscreen specific mini games.
Oh, oh man, that's a big prediction. Yeah, you did call the previous Super Mario Party pretty good. I think it's too soon. I think they put out that DLC because they don't have anything Mario Party related coming anytime soon. I think that's why we got that. I think that maybe there's something in development, but it's really early, and they're like testing things out, and they're using the already existing game as a beta for whatever's coming next.
It's also a possibility.
Yeah, that I wouldn't say no to another Mario Party, Super Mario Party. I just kind of think it's a little bit soon. But I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't object for sure. What kind of release window would you see it having?
I could Like honestly, I could see it be anywhere between shadow dropping the day of E3, just as like a download only title.
I don't see that.
Um,
Not for, they
to
don't download only their major titles.
that's fair. Um, but anywhere between that and like what is next month? June, somewhere between like August to September.
Now you
Time
remember
frame?
Mario? I don't think so because you got to remember Mario Golf's coming out.
True.
They're not going to pit those against each other. I honestly, if that to get announced, that would be another 2022 game in my opinion. That would be like another spring type game.
Honestly, I think that Mario Party is one of those games that can come out short, like a few months after announcement and be just fine. So I feel like I don't think they would announce the game unless it was going to be coming out within like maybe 3 months. So
It maybe, but like I said, Mario Golf is coming out, and I've never known for Nintendo to pit their own sports games like that against each other.
that's fair.
If it was to come out this year, that would be like a late summer, maybe sometime late August, early September type release. I could see them doing that if it was this year. But I like that prediction. That's a good one. That's a very bold prediction. Next one for me. I think we are going to finally get an F-Zero game.
You think we're finally getting a new F-Zero? I'd be down with that.
Actually, I don't even think it's going to be a new F-Zero. I think they're going to remake the GameCube one.
I'd also be down with that.
They've said many times that they don't have any ideas. So if you don't have any ideas, there's nothing hurting you from throwing some new graphics on an existing game and putting out a remake on the Switch.
Yeah, I could. How likely do I think that is to happen? I honestly could not tell you.
And
Give
this
it
one,
like
this one is one I can actually see them shadow dropping and putting on the
yeah,
eShop for like $30.
that I could definitely see for an F-Zero. Just be like, oh, by the way, there's a F-Zero remake. It's available now. If you like it, maybe we'll look into trying to come up with some ideas for a new one. Um, yeah, I can see them doing that for sure, for sure.
Okay, what you got? What else you got?
So this is going to be a very, very spicy prediction.
Ooh, spicy.
And you're probably going to tell me that I'm super wrong.
Probably. That's what I do here.
And not just you. People in the comments are going to be telling me that Nintendo's online service is not good enough for this prediction to be real. And I agree. That's why it's spicy.
Okay, give us the spice.
At the end of the video, Nintendo is going to, do their slow roll, saying, that's it. Actually, wait, we've got one last announcement. And we're gonna get a fade to black. We're gonna see produced by Nintendo in cooperation with Retro Studios. That I am predicting Retro Studios' next game, basically.
Ooh.
And they are going to announce Legends of Hyrule.
The frick are you talking about?
A Legend of Zelda themed MMO.
Oh, wow.
On Nintendo Switch.
An MMO on the Switch. Is there any MMOs currently on the Switch?
Dragon Quest X. I mean, that's Japan only, but it's still there.
Oh, we're talking worldwide. Is there anything worldwide on the Switch?
I do not know.
That's a very spicy. Yeah, that's got like all of the herbs and spices rolled into one there.
Oh yeah, so many herbs and spices. We're gonna have 4 playable races. You can play as a Hylian, a Goron, a Zora, or a Deku, the 4 races from Majora's Mask. Multiple classes, and you're gonna be able to explore Hyrule in an MMO setting. You'll be able to meet Zelda and Link, and you'll probably have boss fight or 2 against Ganondorf. But it's gonna be a Legend of Zelda MMO. So yeah. There's my super spicy prediction.
Well, I'm not 100% on board, but I will say something that helps your decision. They've done a lot of revamping lately to their online.
True.
They've done a lot of that of late, so maybe perhaps that's something that they could be setting up for the future. I would love to see a Zelda MMO. My personal life wouldn't want to see it. I would literally be like that episode of South Park where they all become like 900 pounds, unbathed, and never going outside.
So what do we do now? What do you mean? Now we play the game. My South Park kid voices are atrocious. Do not compare them, please.
It's really interesting, because I kind of have one in my back pocket too.
For the record, I do not see this. If it is announced somehow, if it's real, I do not see it coming out in 2021. I don't even see it coming out in 2022.
No, I don't even think they'd even give us a release window at this early.
I see them teasing it and it not coming out until like maybe summer of 2023 at the absolute earliest.
Comes out in 2047.
More accurate,
probably. Yeah. Okay. I do have kind of a spicy boy prediction as well.
let's hear it.
There's always rumors on this game. In any generation, it's had many sequels, and it always has a rumor for each console that comes out. So I'm not based. What is it?
I said Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yeah. It's funny you mention a racing game. Because I am fully predicting that the big Mario announcement for this E3 is going to be Mario Kart 9. I think it's done. I think it's coming out this summer. I can't tell you what they're going to, what new mechanics or anything like this. We can speculate about that for hours. But I think it'll be kind of like with I think it'll be all new tracks. Mario Kart 8 was kind of like an all-stars of Mario Kart where it was like all of these old tracks but with like new mechanics in it. I think it's going to be all new tracks, brand new on the Switch, ready to go, coming out in like July. And I know that
That,
kind of contradicts what I said earlier with Mario Golf coming out, but Mario Kart is different.
yeah. I would be super down for that. Just having a new Mario Kart game. I'm not like the biggest Mario Kart player, but I've bought all of them since this one on 64, which is the first one that I owned, and I've loved them all. So I would 100% be down for more Mario Kart in my life.
Yeah, and I mentioned a little bit ago about the Nintendo's online being like revamped and redone recently, and I think that would be the top reason why that they're doing that, because I think they're going to expand upon the online for that game, make it better. Because I can remember a lot of times in the Wii U in Mario Kart 8, just a lot of dropped races and matches, just randomly being pulled from a race. I think that
Yeah.
and that happened a little bit on the Switch too. So I think that's something that's been addressed. I think this game's done. I think it's ready to go out very soon, and I think it's coming. Do
Indeed.
you have any more predictions?
I feel like there's one area of predictions that we should probably address. I know that neither of us are the biggest fans of this particular franchise, but I know that a lot of people are going to probably be wondering who we think is coming up in the next as the next DLC character of Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of rumors for Crash, who I don't know if Activision would be okay with Crash being in Smash. I would love to see it personally. I just don't think so. Some people are speculating Sora, which, if you are thinking Sora,
Think
I
again.
wanted to, but it's not going to happen.
Never gonna happen.
Disney will never let Sora go for Super Smash Brothers.
No,
Um,
they're more anal than Nintendo about their IPs.
yeah, they are.
Uh, Spyro is also a pretty big rumor.
Yeah, Spyro is also a pretty common rumor. Um, honestly, I feel personal opinion. I don't think he's gonna make it either. Again, for similar reasons, Activision. But I think that Spyro would have a better moveset than Crash personally. Um, Anywho, but my prediction for Smash Brothers character, I think we're gonna get a new Capcom representative because I was going over it the other day and we don't have any Capcom downloadable characters yet
Hmm.
from either of the fighter passes.
So who do you think it's gonna be?
I don't know for sure. My dream character would be Phoenix Wright or a Monster Hunter from the Monster Hunter games. My prediction, however, is going to be Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
That would be interesting.
I just feel like his movement and uh just his like all of the stuff that he's able to do in those games would translate over to Super Smash Brothers super well. And I feel like Dante would probably be one of the better picks for for Smash Brothers.
As far as Smash goes, you hit the nail on the button. I've kind of lost a lot of my Smash fever over the years, but it is always fun to hear a new character announcement. Um, I think they're going to keep this one in house. I don't think it's going to be a third party character. I think it's going to be a first party. Uh, and I think I'm ready for the trolley comments on this one. The Zelda 35th anniversary is coming out. Skyward Sword anniversary is coming out. We've already got Link. We've got a version of Zelda. Nah, man. It's time. It's time. All of the outcry over this character not being in the first Hyrule Warriors, Nintendo's going to do us one better. Everybody, the Groose is loose!
It's Gross.
I'm going with Groose!
You going with Groose?
Going with Groose, man. They're going to do something with the Groosinator. I think would be awesome. I've
I thought
actually
you were about
thought
to
a
say
lot
Fly
about
for a
this.
second there, but Groose is even better.
You thought I was going with who?
I thought you were going with Phi or Fee or however that's pronounced.
Foe or Fum?
Yeah,
Yeah, Fi would be nice. I mean, she's an aesthetically pleasing character. I like her. She's cute, but I don't know what unless you're going to use stuff that she did in Hyrule Warriors, which I don't think they would, because it would just be copying homework pretty much. I don't feel like there's really anything to do with her in Smash. You could probably make the strongest case for Girahim because
Yeah.
he does have weapons and magic attacks and stuff like that, and that probably makes a lot more sense than what I'm saying. Excuse me. But this Smash has been like the Smash of really odd entrants. I mean,
You're not wrong.
we had frickin' Piranha Plant.
Yeah,
I mean, once you put the freaking Piranha Plant from Mario in, I think everything is freaking game. But yeah,
basically.
I'm going Groose. He's
going Groose?
popular. People like him. He's fun. Nintendo likes characters that they can have fun with on social media and make memes out of. They really like this, and it would do nothing but hype up the Skyward Sword game more. People would be excited. I think it would be a win-win. I'd love to see Groose and Smash. I think that's what they're going to go with. I think it makes a lot of business sense too.
I'd be down with Gross. If I have one small thing, it's that Sakurai does not seem to care about what's coming out at the moment when he makes his announcements.
He also said recently that he is also not the one who's making the decision on the
True.
DLC characters this time. That's
That is
actually
true.
coming straight up from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yes.
it's coming straight up from Nintendo, they do care about what's coming out.
Fair.
So if that's the case, then I'm going to side with I'm going to stick with that. Some minor predictions that I've got. Okay, we got to mention it. This isn't really a prediction; it's more of a speculative thing. We have to bring it up. Every single one of these videos, we've brought this up. So here it is, folks. Is this the E3 that we get Mother 3?
And if we listen to Terry Crews, who is definitely a Nintendo spokesperson,
What was up with that? Here's the Old Spice guy vouching for wanting Mother 3.
I love it. If you don't give us Mother 3, you're just confessing that you want young teenage boys to smell like crap when they come back from gym class.
I wonder how big Terry Crews is in Japan, because it would be awesome to see him in a Nintendo Direct make the announcement.
I would love to see that. That would be so cool.
If he has any kind of popularity in Japan, please, Nintendo. Please, if you do Mother 3, I don't even play those games, but if he makes the announcement, I will buy every game in that franchise. Just because Terry Crews told me to.
Same, right?
Also, I'm pretty sure he would kick my ass if I didn't listen.
Yes.
But
Mother
do you
3 is
think?
out now.
What do you think? Seriously, what do you think? Is this the year?
Is this the year? Honestly? So, honest opinion is that at this point, I don't know if Nintendo just will give us Mother 3. Because, honestly, we've been asking for it for so long that,
Dang it! What I don't get is they can do it easily. They can easily put it.
Yeah.
I mean, they put Star Fox 2 on the SNES Online, and that's a game we never ever thought we would ever see. That's a game that they didn't even put out. It's just, for whatever reason, I guess because the N64 had done launched, and that technology was kind of obsolete by the second that thing launched. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw it on. They, dude, imagine the up in subscriptions and on the excuse me, I'm so sorry. The upward toll in subscriptions for Nintendo Online if they put a localized Mother 3 on SNES.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening. I think it's never happening. I think there's some kind of internal reason for it. At this point, they've had many opportunities to do it. The hype has
In
gotten high for it several times. You've had several. Terry Crews isn't even the only celebrity to come out and say it. Who's the girl that played Captain Marvel? Brie Larson, a couple years ago, did this same thing, and that got the hype going. And there's
oh,
been
really? I didn't realize that she had done that too.
oh dude, she is a huge Nintendo fan. She absolutely loves Nintendo. She's even been campaigning to play Samus, and I could totally see her playing it.
Yeah,
She definitely looks the part.
that is very true. She does.
Yeah. But yeah, the hype has gotten up many times for this game. Nintendo easily could have done this 100 times over. I thought it was going to happen on the Wii U when they announced what was the
Yeah,
name they gave it?
Earthbound Beginnings.
Earthbound
Yeah,
Beginnings. Yeah, I thought, okay, this is the beginning. We'll get this one first, and then they'll come out in order, and that's how they're going to do it, which would have been great. But
yeah, it would have
that's
been.
been like 8 years ago,
Yeah, something like that.
and we've heard absolutely nothing since. So no, I don't think they're ever going to do it. I think just because of the fact that it's gotten up and hyped so many times and so many ways, I think there's internal reasons for it. I think that it may be a personal thing. I don't know
Yeah,
what that is, but I think it's something within Nintendo that we may never ever learn about.
it's a possibility for sure.
Star Fox, I don't see anything Star Fox. Um,
Nah.
Even the rumors of like the last 3 or 4 E3s that have come out of that Star Fox Grand Prix.
Oh,
I
Grand Prix, give us Star Fox Grand Prix, damn it.
I don't think there's anything Star Fox coming. I think they're out of ideas with Star Fox myself. Um,
Yeah,
and it was very apparent with the last entrant in the series, Star Fox Zero. I'm not hating on the game. I only played it minimally, but it was a letdown to a lot of people. And it was just retreading old ground that they've retreaded already before. And I think they're completely out of Star Fox ideas. And outside of them handing the IP to yet another third party and saying, "Here you go, see what you can do with this." I think that they're just completely brainwashed of ideas of that series. Um, outside of anything else, outside of Mario Kart, I don't see nothing else. What have you? What? I haven't heard much Mario out of you. Do you see anything Mario coming?
you mean apart from, Super Mario Party 2?
I meant main. I
Um,
meant like big.
like
I view
mainline Mario?
Mario Party at this point fell so far down the spectrum. I don't see it as a big thing anymore. I guess
That's fair.
makes good
Yeah,
game
I
grump
don't.
videos.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, mainstream like Mario, I don't see too much that's big for Mario. I mean, Mario Golf, like you said, we're probably gonna get like at least another trailer for that.
Yeah, like another,
Um,
like a reveal, like not a reveal
yeah,
trailer, but a release trailer.
yeah. I mean, we already have
In
the
fact, I
that
think Mario
picture of
Golf. I don't know if we'll
Wario.
see Mario Golf, man, because I think that game comes out before E3.
Does it come out before E3?
I will pull it up right now and look. What's the full name of that game?
Mario Golf Switch. I don't remember.
I'll just type in Mario Golf Switch. Super Rush.
That's it.
Okay, we might see a release trailer. It does come out like a couple of weeks later, June 25th. I
Yeah.
thought it came out like May 31st or something. But yeah, we'll probably see a reveal trailer for that. I'm kind of with you. I don't see like a mainline Mario game either, especially if we're focusing on Zelda and Metroid related 35th stuff. I could see Mario being next year's E3 though, definitely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I can see that. I don't think we're ready for like Super Mario Odyssey 2
Especially if that
or
team's working on Donkey Kong.
yeah, if that is true, then definitely not.
When it comes to the Mario series itself, it's kind of hit a point with like the. I want to talk about the 2D games for a moment. I want to clarify before I go further into this. I feel like they've hit a wall with that. I feel like Super Mario Maker has become the future of 2D Mario. I feel like
Yeah.
with each console, you're just going to get another Mario Maker with like more cool stuff added, and that's just going to be 2D Mario. And I honestly think that's just fine. I don't know what else you can do with 2D Mario that they haven't already done before, outside of handing it to like, once again, I keep repeating this, to a third party developer and see here what different can you do.
Yeah.
Okay, another aspect we need to jump into, and we haven't really much. We kind of did a little bit with our Smash prediction. Well, your Smash prediction. What about third party stuff?
I hadn't even really considered much of what third party stuff you
One that
got
I've
any.
got is, and this might fall more into want than prediction. To be honest, I'll be honest. But I can kind of see perhaps the Mass Effect trilogy coming to Switch.
See it. What they'd probably release it as like one game on a cartridge and then you download the other two, but I could definitely see it.
Kind of like they did with the Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spyro. Crash 4, I think, is definitely coming, and I could see them announcing that. And yeah, I think that's 100% getting announced at E3.
That's a great game.
You've played it?
Crash 4? Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. You got a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I see that coming to Switch. There's no reason for it not to. It's all but been confirmed. It's one of those like worst kept secrets around type things, but I can see that being casually announced. What
Uh,
and you're we've got something coming up in a couple days. This isn't really E3, but it does fall into our third party discussion here. Um,
About to talk about the Dragon Quest thing?
yes, actually, you read my mind. Dragon
Yep.
Quest has like, I guess this is like their own version of a direct coming. It's tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Tomorrow is at the time that we record this.
yeah, yeah, it will be. It will be in the past. It will have already been announced. But well, just for the sake of it, let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. I don't know what to predict here. I like Dragon Quest. I played the originals on the NES as a kid, and then a couple years ago, you got me into 11S, and
Yes.
it's become one of my top five favorite video games of all time. Um,
Pretty good game.
and I'm very strict about my top five too. I don't let just any game in there. Um, so I'm not as versed in the Dragon Quest releases and rumors and innuendo that comes out. But I'll tell you what my one is, and you and I have talked about this many a times in personal discussions. I just want 4 through 9 in some way, whether they put those on the eShop, whether they put them in a collection that actually goes on a cartridge, or whatever. Put the damn things on the Switch so that I can finally play them, because they're like a cajillion dollars on eBay now, which we found out the hard way. He was going
Yes.
to buy me. Which one was you going to buy me?
I,
7?
I was trying to buy you Dragon Quest 8 on
8.
3DS, and I know you like your physical games, so I was gonna get you a physical copy. only to realize that no, I can't buy a physical copy for the $40 that I thought I had found it a physical
Yeah.
copy for.
It was the
No, that was a
Japanese
digital
version.
code only.
It was what?
It was a digital code.
Oh, I thought it was Japanese version.
No, I think I also found it in Japanese, but I made sure that I found it in English. But I thought it was a physical copy, but no, it
I
was only
wouldn't have
digital.
minded it being the downloadable version, but I am pretty sure as far as like space goes, my 3DS is done.
Yeah, probably can't handle it. You'd have to delete at least a couple of things.
Yeah, and I don't like to do that. Yeah, I want 4 through 9 in some manner. If they announce that, I don't care what else they announce. I don't care if they announce freaking Rocket Slime underwear. I don't care what they announce. Just
I'd wear that. Sorry.
You're crazy, pal. Just give me the games that I haven't played, and honestly, I'm not even thinking of myself here. I'm thinking about like just general Dragon Quest fans not in Japan. Those games are really hard to find now.
Dragon
Unless,
Quest 11 did really well.
oh yeah, it did.
Not just like
It
for a
surprised
video game.
it surprised the
extremely
developers.
well for a Dragon Quest game. That was a lot of people's entry into the series.
It was my re-entry, and I've gotten a couple friends of mine into it as well.
So
Like my
for them
friend,
to
one of our fellow colleagues for the Zelda Hub, Tiffany, I got her into it. She absolutely adores it, and it's crazy. I was the one who convinced her to get the demo,
the demo, yeah.
and then I turned right around and bought her the game for her birthday, and that was Christmas.
For those of you who are on the fence about Dragon Quest, little bit of a plug. That demo's like what, 4 or 5 hours long? Maybe even longer. I don't remember exactly how long it was.
It's like getting a free video game.
Yeah, you're basically getting like a short video game for free. Well, actually, I call it a short video game. Really, it's like up to like the 3rd or 4th dungeon
Yeah.
in a JRPG.
And what's crazy is that sounds like, well, what's left of the game? Oh, honey. Oh, it's not even like half. It's not even like a fourth of the game. It's like 1/10 of the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much, and they've added, like, the Switch version has more in it. It has
It'd be
stuff
the equivalent of if they were to release a demo for Ocarina of Time, to bring a Zelda perspective to this, since this is Zelda Hub.
Right.
If they were to release a demo for Ocarina of Time that took you all the way to becoming an adult.
Yeah.
That's the rough approximation.
Yeah, that's
You've
a
still
really
got
good.
a lot of game left after that.
Yeah, definitely. So now that we're done plugging Dragon Quest 11 S for free without any money being handed to either one of us, I think that would be great to get. I'd really like to see them announce those classic games. I don't even care if they announce anything new, but hey, it's their 35th anniversary too, so you never know.
True.
There's so many 35th anniversaries. Zelda's going on. Metroid's going on. Dragon Quest is going on. There's a couple other Nintendo IPs that I forget. Kid Icarus, I think, is 35.
Something like that.
I don't see anything Kid Icarus being announced, full disclosure.
You know what? Learning that it is Kid Icarus's 35th, I will make a small prediction, soft prediction of a updated release of Kid Icarus Uprising. I don't see a new game, but I could see a port of that to the Switch.
I don't, because I don't think that game's playable on the Switch. And I feel like the mechanics would have to too drastically be altered.
Possibly.
I want to talk a little bit about what we want. We've talked so much about predictions.
Indeed.
I want to talk about, here's what I want, and this could make no sense. It can make no rhyme or reason. This is just, letting our hair down now. The business portion of this video is over with. We are now just going to be two goofballs saying, you know what I want, Matt? And this is serious, folks. I want Nintendo to come out and tell me, Mr. Viewer at home, watching from your comfy chair, we're going to give you every Zelda on the Switch. That's what I want. That's my big want. I want them to come out and say for the 35th anniversary, yeah, we're going to give you every Zelda on the Switch. I don't care how it's done. I don't care if it's put on cartridges. I don't care if they throw them on the eShop for like $5-10 a piece. I want access to every Zelda game that has been released to this point, including the fucking CDI games.
Yes.
Especially the CDI games.
Honestly, the CD. You know what? Changed my prediction from earlier. We're not getting Zelda MMO. We're getting Zelda Cdi Collections on E3. $70 because they're gonna charge you a premium for those peak perfection games.
Oh yeah, $70. They're gonna have an amiibo. One version that comes with an amiibo that's $120.
Yep.
Oh god, an amiibo of CDI Link. Oh my god, I'm just naming all the stuff that I want now.
Oh, I'd be so down for it. I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Though, any joking aside, if they put the CDI games on the Switch, I'm going to be the first one to buy those things because I've never played any of them. And despite the fact that they're reviewed as bad games, I still want to play them.
Same.
Even,
Try anything once, they say, right?
Yeah. I want to play these, and I would even stream them. I'm like, let's have some fun with this. Let's watch Meek repeatedly die, rage, and cry. Yeah, that's definitely a one. It's very far fetched. I fully realize that, but I think we're in a good position for something like that to happen. I think they can definitely make it happen. Do I think they will? No, I don't think there's any chance of it happening.
No.
It's just I don't know what Nintendo's hate boner is for GameCube. I don't get it. It makes me angry. And it goes all the way back to the announcement of the Wii U when the late, great former president of Nintendo come out and told us, yeah, we're going to have GameCube games on the Wii U. And then they never did.
They never came out.
They've never mentioned anything about it since. And, outside of the Twilight Princess HD Wind Waker thing from a few years ago, it seems to be a very ignored era of them. Now, I know the GameCube didn't do well. Nintendo 64 wasn't that great either. But
actually, neither of them did amazingly.
But we get remade stuff and ports of stuff from the N64 all the frickin' time.
Yes.
Why is GameCube, like I said, outside of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and even a lot of people might consider Twilight Princess a Wii game, even though it's really not.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just there, and there's so many good titles, first and third party, that I would like to see made available. If even if they don't remake them, I'm not even talking remakes. I'm talking about just having the ability to play these games in their original form. I feel like
Online.
GameCube is it needs to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, at least not at this E3.
I don't think so.
But I think it's the one that needs to happen the most. Because a lot of those games on that Nintendo console, you look at it came out in the early 2000s. What was it, 2002?
Something like that?
01 or 02, something like that. And people born around that time are adults. And a lot of them, outside of going to your local pawn shop and buying a used GameCube and trying to track down, here's a good example, Fire Emblem Radiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on eBay. You ain't going to want to pay the prices for a used game.
Yeah. Radiant Dawn, the sequel on the Wii, just...
Even Luigi's Mansion's getting up there now.
Yeah. Wow.
Like you could get the 3DS version, but some people might want to play the original form of that game, which is just fine.
Indeed.
And it's it's got such a terrific library. Pokemon has some good titles on there that I enjoyed. Gale of
Yeah.
Darkness, Coliseum, a lot of people
Hmm.
liked. And these games are just non-existent now outside of paying eBay prices or whatever the pawn shop is trying to sucker some idiot out of.
Yeah.
And I think that's really bad. I don't want to see these games lost to time.
Yeah, no, that would absolutely be atrocious to make it so that none of these games can really be played again.
And yeah, it's just like there's so much love for the 64 from Nintendo and all of its other consoles. God dang, the Wii U was one generation ago, and that thing's got like a billion ports.
Right?
Let's, man, I'd like to have Star Fox Assault on the Switch.
Mhm.
It'd be great. I'd like to play Star Fox Assault. It's been a long time outside of hook. And it's such a pain to hook up these old systems to newer technology now.
It really is.
It's becoming harder and harder with just almost by the year, almost by the month these days to hook up these old consoles, especially when you've already got like two or three other things hooked up.
Hmm.
And for people who own multiple consoles, that makes it even harder.
It
But
really
yeah,
is.
GameCube. That I could just go ahead and say that's another want.
Yeah. GameCube Online.
It's a
Definitely a one on both of our ends.
yeah.
I have a lot of memories from my GameCube era games that I mean, I have my Wii hooked up and I've got a GameCube controller hooked up to it, but
Yeah.
it's still a pain to switch over from my PS4 and my Switch and switching over to my GameCube setup and playing those old games.
Yep.
It's doable, but I'd like to be able to play those games on the same console that I'm playing half of my other video games.
That's what kind of brings me back to what I was kind of talking to earlier about Nintendo going away from the current format of their online as far as their classic system goes. I felt like they had it the best with the Wii. That was the best quote unquote virtual console that they ever had. They
You
had
don't
just about
quote
every
unquote there.
up to
That
that
was the
point.
virtual console.
Up to that point, you think about what the Wii was capable of at that point. You had NES games, SNES games, N64 games. You had the ability to play physically your GameCube discs in that console. And you also had other stuff. You had Sega Genesis games. You had TurboGrafx 16 games. And, I believe there was Neo Geo and stuff like that on there too. There's Neo Geo stuff on the Switch too, actually. If you look for it, it's there. Um, but I feel like Nintendo really needs to take notes from Sony's format for their classic library. I
Yeah,
think Nintendo has the capabilities of coming out whenever it's time for whatever comes after the Switch. It's probably too late for this now, but whenever the next console comes out, nostalgia is king. We live in a society where nostalgia is king.
it is.
If you put that thing out and you say from the get, you pay 20, 25 bucks a year or whatever they want it to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, you get all first party NES, all first party SNES, all first party Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of first party 64, I should say. A lot of first party GameCube. It doesn't have to be everything, because I realize once you get in here, the games are bigger, blah, blah, blah. But make at least most of your first party stuff accessible from the get. None of this every few months you get 3 games you never freaking heard of crap. It's like the last time they put SNES and NES games, I don't think I've heard but maybe just one of the games they put out, and I didn't care.
Yeah.
It didn't make me turn my Switch on and go, oh, I need to play these.
Yeah.
Also, Nintendo, where's Super Mario RPG on?
Right?
Dude, maybe we should throw this in predictions. Maybe they're remaking it.
Ooh. I would be. Oh,
They have been
oh, that would make me so happy.
they have been a lot more friendly with a certain other company that helped them make that game.
Indeed.
So maybe, just maybe, they're working something out. So that might be another prediction of mine that I throw a surprise prediction on the fly, if you will. So what are some of your wants? We've done mine once. I'm ready to hear yours.
We've done your ones. Some of my wants, me being a huge Atlas fan, I am wanting some sort of Persona collection on the Switch. Uh, or just some sort of Shin Megami Tensei in general collection on the Switch.
You have been hot wanting that Shin Megami Tensei collection for like
For
5 years, at least 5 years. Yeah, half the time that I'm
forever.
You bring this up to me a lot in our personal conversations.
Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne just came out on the Switch yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming out this year. I don't know if we have a window for that beyond this year, but we have it coming out this year allegedly. I would love to see 1, 2, and 4 also make their way to the console. I've played and beaten 4 myself, but outside of Japan or fan translations, I don't think anybody's played. Excuse me, I don't believe anybody's played SMT 1 or 2, legally at least. So, yeah, bring that over here. Do it, Sega. Because Sega owns Atlas now. For those of you who didn't know. Oh, I do have one more want that I don't think is going to actually happen, but one more want for the console. I want to see a Kingdom Hearts collection for the Switch.
I would have to throw
Whether
that in my ones,
3
too,
is
yeah.
whether the Switch is powerful enough to handle Kingdom Hearts 3 or not, I don't know.
I definitely, yeah, dude.
But I would
That's previous gen game. It definitely can. It handled
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11 just fine.
That is true.
Breath of the Wild.
That is true. Yeah, no, I want to see Kingdom Hearts on the Switch though. At the very least, the original 1 and 2, 1.5 plus 2.5 HD collection.
Yeah.
I want to see that on the Switch. Damn it.
Yeah, I do too. It's been a long time since I've played Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played any Kingdom Hearts since the PlayStation 2 days. I would definitely be down for that. I would definitely have a lot of fun with that. In closing, I want to go ahead and give my closing thoughts. I think this is going to be a big E3. I think we're going to get a lot of major announcements. I think it's going to be Zelda-centric.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Metroid flavoring added to it. I do think that'll be the focus, though. It'll be Zelda Metroid with, like, little things around it. I don't feel like this is going to be a big Mario year. I don't feel... Because we've got golf, and not too long ago, we got a new Paper Mario game as well. If anything Mario gets announced, it'll be like a port or a remake of something.
Yeah.
Like I kind of hinted at, perhaps an RPG remake. Could just get dropped out of nowhere. And
Shadow Drop Super Mario RPG remake. Here you go.
Not going to be Shadow Drop. That's not Nintendo's style to Shadow Drop first party stuff. We have left one character out. Before we get to final thoughts, anything Kirby come to mind for you? Kirby is something that they tend to release quite often. They don't tend to wait long with Kirby.
That is true. I could see them doing either another mainstream Kirby game or just some sort of spin-off. When it comes to Kirby, even if they do announce something, you never know what they're going to announce with Kirby.
Oh,
Uh,
they have a lot of fun with Kirby. And
maybe Kirby's gonna be the MMO instead of Legend of Zelda.
Kirby MMO. Sign
Everybody
me up.
plays as a different color of Kirby.
So,
No customization in your character. You just are a Kirby.
yeah, and they choose the color for you.
Yes.
If you get baby shit green, too bad.
Make a brand new account and starts paying $30 a month on that account instead.
End up getting a worse color. Just
Fuck. Make another new account.
just keep getting worse color Kirby's each time. And come to find out, all the color Kirby's are really ugly colors.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay premium price to get like a pretty color. You have to pay the $60 fee.
$60 a month. A
And if you
month.
pay 120, he'll get a hat.
You know what? That's worth it.
Yep. um, Kirby. Yeah, I think you kind of get the nail on the button. You never know what they're going to announce with Kirby. I can very well see them putting out a brand new, spanking new Kirby game, or they can announce one of these little side things that they've been throwing on the Switch here and there for us. You never know. It's been a while since Star Allies. Great game, by the way, for anybody who's not played it.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
good game.
yeah, fun, very fun. Um, which is pretty much Kirby in a nutshell, fun. And
Indeed.
I could very well see them dropping something Kirby, even if it's something small. But like I said, back to my final thoughts. This is going to be very Zelda Metroid centric. I think anything else big planned is only going to be mentioned in passing, or is going to be held off for whenever the next direct is, or like you mentioned a couple times, going to be thrown in just some random day of the week. Be like, yeah, this comes out January 23rd, 2022. Here you go, boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Because Nintendo be doing that a lot recently.
That's
Uh,
true.
I think it's going to be big, though. I think we're going to get some huge announcements. I think the hype is going to be big. I think the icing on the cake is going to be Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 announced for later this year. I think that's the big one. I think this is the perfect setting. I think it's the perfect way to get us out of the pandemic era of gaming, so to speak, of Nintendo, and get us back into the hype. And I think that's what Nintendo's goal here is to just give us pure bliss for 30, 40 minutes of announcements.
Yes. That would be that'd be great.
What
So
are
yeah.
you go ahead and give your final thoughts. Put your
Yeah,
cherry on the cake.
I mostly just agree with all the stuff that you're saying. I want this direct to be hype. I want it to be big, super Zelda heavy. I we're definitely getting that MMO. That there's no way that's not happening, right?
Oh no way.
Right?
Yeah, we're also going to get a. We're also going to get Miyamoto to announce that Link is real.
Yes. L is real 2041. No, that doesn't stand for Luigi. That stood for Link.
Yep.
In 2041, Link is going to be added to Super Mario 64.
What a twist.
Oh, very, very Zelda E direct that or
Hmm.
conference. Or yeah, they do directs at E3 now.
Yeah. And there's no conferences this year across the board. It's all going to be directs and
It's all going to be
trailers.
videos.
Yeah, it's all going to be pre-recorded, which is
Hmm.
probably the way they're going to do it going forward. I would imagine because it's just so much easier for everybody involved.
Indeed.
And I just reached in my back pocket and I pulled something out. There's one more thing.
One more thing.
I have one more prediction.
Oh,
I
let's hear
feel
it.
I'm calling this right now. We've been talking so much about Zelda. Yes, We're going to get Breath of the Wild 2. I can just feel it. We're going to get the release date and all the yummy information.
Mhm.
We're going to get a Zelda collection on the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we kind of covered that towards the beginning.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
We're also going to get a new 2D Zelda.
Mm.
Yep, I held that one for surprise last minute. That's my that is my biggest, hugest surprise announcement prediction for E3. I think that it has been long overdue. The last
Indeed.
true, and I'm not counting Triforce Heroes, because that was something entirely else. And of course, Cadence of Hyrule doesn't count because that's technically not a Zelda game. But it
It
is
was,
since the last time we got a proper 2D Zelda was A Link Between Worlds, and that's been about 8 years now, 7 or 8 years.
Mhm.
It's been a long time since A Link Between Worlds came in. That was the three. That was like in the prime of the 3DS.
It really was.
I think we're going to get a 2D Zelda. I think it's going to have a 2022 release date. I think it's going to focus. Now, I'm not going to sit here and debate what timeline or anything that it's going to fall in, because these days with these Zelda games, you could flip a freaking coin. Um,
Yeah.
they also seem to be very content of not giving three craps about that stupid timeline. That's another video for another time, though. But
I,
I think
I
it's going to focus on single player this time rather than the 3 or 4 player aspect. Though I wouldn't mind a port or remake of Four Swords Adventures. Nintendo. Um,
That'd be another great port to bring.
yeah, it
That's
would.
another GameCube game as well.
Yeah, and a Zelda game that I feel like a lot of people overlook because
Indeed.
it's even fun one player. I like Zelda Four Sword Adventure.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a single player 2D, and I could see them using the graphics from Link's Awakening, just bringing that back because it was so well received and so pretty, and I could see them very well using that style again.
Indeed.
But that's my big one last thing. If you don't have anything else, I think we're good.
I I think we covered all of the stuff that I wanted. There's probably like tons of stuff that we've missed.
Oh yeah, for
Leave
sure.
your predictions in the comments below.
Yeah, there's IPs that Nintendo has that I'm not very knowledgeable about. We didn't even mention Fire Emblem. I don't know much about Fire Emblem myself. I own one of the games. I have Awakening on the 3DS, and I've played like 20 minutes of it. Uh, I don't hate Fire Emblem. I just never really gave it much of a shot. Maybe someday I will. Um, but I don't really know enough about Fire Emblem to make any kind of predictions on it, and therefore I don't have any. Do you have any Fire Emblem predictions?
I would I don't know about predictions per se. I've read a little bit of rumor about a new Fire Emblem coming, but it, nothing like even remotely like in stone. Um I would love to see another one. Three Houses sold really well. Um they released the first ever Fire Emblem game on the Switch
Yeah,
back in December.
yeah,
Um, so there's that.
yeah.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see more Fire Emblem games. I don't know if they will. I don't see them announcing it at E3 this year. Maybe
Yeah, I
save
feel
that
like
for
that
like a
would.
smaller direct.
Yeah, I feel like that's something with all the Zelda and Metroid news that we're most likely going to get. I feel like that's something that would also get buried. Um, we haven't even mentioned anything mobile. There's very good chance that something mobile could get announced.
Possibly.
There's always rumors and innuendo that a Switch Super or
With
Switch Pro is
Pro,
coming.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either, but it also wouldn't surprise me because that's Nintendo. They're in the business of making money. And if they
That's
can
true.
put something out and add something to it and get people to buy it, they're going to do it.
I was gonna say I'd probably buy one if they did release one, but I
I,
don't
prob-
see it happening.
I probably would too. Um, there's so many possibilities. There's probably, there's also rumors that Nintendo's getting ready to bring in some new IPs. We could see that.
Yeah.
Pikmin. We haven't even mentioned Pikmin. There's a possibility of something Pikmin getting announced. The 200-year-long rumor of Pikmin 4,
Yeah, I think that's the only rumor that's been around longer than Mother 3 translation.
I don't know about that. Pikmin 3 wasn't that long ago. Mother 3
Or the
translation's been
re-release.
around since like the 64 days.
Fair.
Yeah, there's so many things that we haven't even touched on that could happen. And who knows? Every prediction we have could probably just fall to the wayside, and Nintendo just gives us a mild direct, which has happened many, many times.
Even at E3, it's like this was your.
We've had mild E3s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the case. I feel like there's so much backlog right now, and so much coming, and so much that we know is coming that it's almost impossible for them to mess this up. And they've been riding a wave of momentum since the Switch launched. I feel like Nintendo right now is just going to continue that momentum.
Wii Music. They're gonna re-release Wii Music. They're not gonna even try to change up the name to take Wii out and put Switch in. Just Wii Music on the Switch now.
Super Mario Paint. Put that on the Switch. I'd play that. Anyways, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap this up. Matt, once again, thanks for jumping in here and throwing out the crazy predictions and rumors that we like to do every year. And Matt has died.
I am not dead. I'm still here. Hello.
There he is. But thanks again for showing up this year for the predictions video. I hope everybody gets what they want for E3 this year. I think we all miss it. Even if we don't get like the biggest announcements on the planet, I think we all miss the hype of not having this last year. And I really hope that everybody
so
has
much.
more than anything, enjoy it, have fun for all 3 days of this event. And remember, it's not just Nintendo, it's also, Microsoft is involved and so many third parties and so many different, gaming insiders and outsiders and oversiders and undersiders are involved.
Yeah.
Everybody is hyped for this. It's 2 years of build. 2 years.
2 years.
And I know we're all ready for all of the video game announcements that are going to be happening over the next month. Not just at E3, but at other events as well. Thank you all again for watching. Let us know in the comments, what's your predictions? What do you agree with in our predictions? What do you disagree with?
You have any spicier predictions than Zelda MMO?
Let us know. Sound off in the comments. I want to hear what everybody has to say. And thanks again to my editor. Thanks again to you, Matt, for coming in. And all of my other Zelda Hub contributors, thank you as well. But most importantly, thank every single one of you for watching. And enjoy E3. Bye-bye.